It is said that those who can do and those who can't do teach. It appears that the value accorded to people who raise and educate our nation is non existent at best and extremely derogatory at worst. Why is it that one of the most important professions in any country is relegated to people who can't do? Is there any truth value in the statement at all? Today we have a frank and open conversation with Maida Ali, a board member of Faculty of Education and lecturer at FC College, an online trainer at Grassroots Education, and in her own words, an instructional technologist, a teacher, a funny person, movie buff, and much more. We asked Maida what the various problems in the field of teaching are and how we can remedy them on a personal and systemic level. Hopefully, she can shed some light on Pakistan's education system and show once and for all that those who can do, teach. So, welcome everyone and welcome Maida.
Thank you so much, and thank you so much for this lovely introduction.
No problem. So let's just dive into the topic itself, and we'll start off with a brief history. So in the past decade or so in Pakistan particularly, what were the various sort of problems which arose within the teaching or education sector in Pakistan?
Okay, so specifically in context of Pakistan, we have been facing a decline of education all over the country, given the fact that teacher trainings are not really contextualized. There's the same teacher trainings which have been going around, whether it's Punjab Higher Education Commission's training or some other provinces' trainings as well. So teacher training has been this one constant issue throughout the previous decades, where we are not modernizing the trainings, we are not teaching them through technology or facilitating them to integrate technology, but the other way around as well. We're still with the old traditions and old values. Another issue in the previous decades, which I'm really thankful to most of the teachers here in Pakistan, which is kind of now changing, is there used to be a huge trend of teacher-centered learning. And this might be an issue still in most of the public schools as well. Private schools are kind of changing with new methodologies and experimenting with new methodologies. And now it's more over student-centered learning, where you are educating a whole child instead of educating just one mind for 150-minute session. So you are taking care of their well-being, you're also taking care of their socialization, and you're also taking care of the learning of that child or that student, whether you're in a school, university, or a college as well.
Like you said, that education appears to be more holistic now, right? Do you have any personal examples, you being a lecturer at FC College and just generally any previous experiences as well, where you have seen this and seen kind of the results paying off because of a holistic manner of teaching?
Holistic. FC College is since a university, we have baccalaureate and all the other higher levels as well. So it's a very different approach. I am a graduate from Finland, so I learned to focus on skills and competencies instead of just knowledge or imparting grades, and that's pretty much it. So in FC College, it's like whenever I enter a new classroom and students who do not know me, basically freshmen or people who haven't taken a course from me, they are, and I would really like to say this, pleasantly surprised at why this teacher is using humor, why this instructor is connecting with us on the very first day. My pet sentences or pet lines when I enter a classroom are always about how they are doing. Did something funny happen in the morning? Did something piss them off? Trying to connect with them even though I don't even remember their names in the very beginning of the session. So, and then periodically asking them just a simple question about their well-being and how they are doing surprises them a lot. And funny, it's not funny actually, but coincidentally, Yesterday, a student called me. She has graduated. I think it has been 1.5 years. She called me and she said that I am an introvert and I only feel comfortable talking to you about my practical life. And she was asking me advice on which organization to join and how to approach them and stuff like that. So I feel really proud when it comes to that approach, which you have clearly mentioned, the holistic one. It definitely works if you're trying to work towards it.
You kind of are saying that in the 21st century, we see a student-centered learning model, right? So can you elaborate a bit more about that and some sort of techniques that you might use to engage students, or just frame the conversation around the student as opposed to just imparting knowledge and fulfilling a quota?
Okay, so to answer the first part of your question, what is student-centered learning? So student-centered learning is basically when you design your instruction and when you design your assessments around your students, given the fact that there is a diverse pool of students inside your classroom, whether it's a public school or a private school, and what ethnicities are there, what religious communities are there inside your classroom, and you design the instruction taking care of each and every segment. That is basically student-centered learning. We also add another type, a characteristic to student-centered, which is talking more about their well-being and mental health as well, which is very, very important. So this is basically student-centered learning. Some of the techniques which I use, one of the techniques which I use is I send them out a message before joining the class face-to-face or online, and I ask them to tell something about themselves to me, and then I kind of engage with them through online platforms in a very professional manner. And then in face-to-face as well, I try to connect with them whatever they have written for me in that message. Another interesting technique which I think most of the people use is Socratic method. So if a student is asking me a question that why did you say this is true or this is false, I would kind of counter question them. It kind of irritates them a lot that I am not giving them out blatant answers, but it really helps them to engage and kind of shifts the focus from my knowledge towards their knowledge.
Definitely. And I think it inculcates a sense of curiosity. And there is this quote as well that I think Margaret Mead said that students must be taught, or children must be taught, how to think and not what to think. So your example really brought that up for me, that it's not that you're imparting knowledge in that way or throwing facts at them, but really like helping hone those critical thinking skills in them. So I think that's really great.